When we first started last year to think about what the European Conference on the Future Internet would be about, what would be the content, what would be the different type of panels and speakers and presentations that would be displayed here for you in the audience, we had some ideas, obviously, that we need to, like was discussed yesterday, we need to explain to the people that what FI-PPP actually stands for, as we are all agreeing that it's not perhaps the most obvious acronym that explains in itself. So you have to explain to the wider audience that what it is, what is the future internet part of that, and what is the public-private partnership part of that. I think during these 2 days we have primarily achieved not only to spread and diffuse that information, but to explain at great lengths and in-depth information, in detailed information, what currently happens within the FI-PPP. That it's active, it's dynamic, and it's moving forward. And in a phase 3, it's actually opening the doors to the rest of Europe, whether it's those SMEs or consumers and the end users, as we were just discussing there. So we're ready to put whatever we have now there on the table for you to start utilizing. And this event, the past 2 days at the European Conference, has been one of the first events where we are very open about everything. We shared also the challenges that there exist, we shared the opportunities that there exist, and we shared also the plea from our side for you to give us feedback and to give us information what it is that you would like the FI-PPP to be about. So I think we achieved a two-way communication in that sense. So not only monologues by the speakers, but very interesting conversations, whether in the sessions or in the corridors or at the stands. So I'm happy. I think we achieved what we started with. This event will be followed by similar type of events, and there are other FI-PPP events as well that are more specifically about certain themes and certain target segments in that sense. So keep on following the websites, keep on following the newsletters that are coming out from the FI-PPP, and I trust that during this year and during the coming 2 years, you will see that we are going to achieve a great deal. We are going to commercialize an EU program, and we are going to commercialize it in a way that we can be proud of as Europeans, that we're doing new things. And we're utilizing those unique European assets that we mentioned yesterday when we started the event. But there I would like to end from my part and thank you all for being here. And before we close the conference, Mr. Fatelnik, please, would you say a few words from the behalf of the European Commission?
Yesterday and today I listened a lot. I listened a lot what you said, what I heard in the sessions. And I would like to give you a readout of what I heard and what I understood. You know, we are yet again in a situation where the success of this PPP, the success of FIWARE, will not depend on its technology. That's not new in history. You remember the story going around that Bill Gates was selling MS-DOS and he didn't even have it? Or when Betamax lost out to VHS, clearly a better technology being the Betamax. So yet again, it will be the non-technical factors and not the bells and whistles of FIWARE which will decide whether this will be a success or not. So I think we should do two things. We need a lot more examples. And an example is not an experimentation in a lab. An example is what Foodloop is doing. This is an example. And we don't want another Foodloop, we want to have another 2,000 of those. This is also what the third phase is about, I agree. But it's not only about SMEs. It's about going across the board. It is the job of the big companies as well to do their work in their companies, to do their work in their industry, and to work with their ecosystems and build it. So it will be everybody who will have to work on that. There is time and money set aside. We have referred to the third phase. But remember what I said in the beginning. It will be the non-technical elements which will decide how this will end up. And the second one is communication. And here I would like to appoint everybody in the room, you over there, as brand ambassador for the future Internet PPP as of today. Go out and tell what you have understood as the useful elements. It is complex. You don't have to explain everything. But the two things you remember of, this is good, this is useful, this can make a difference to me, to you, to my business, to where I work. And sell it. And I just would like to finish off with a cover song from Joe Cocker, I think. Have a little faith in FI-ware. Thank you.
Sure whether it was a direct quote or not. Before we actually I end this session, I would like to also say thank to all the organizers, Milan Gupta and his team. You've been doing great work for the conference. And with that, I would actually now officially close the first European Conference on the Future Internet. I welcome you for the coming events and for the discussions that will continue from here. And like Peter said, we are now all appointed ambassadors to the FI-PPP. So we have to behave accordingly and spread the information. So please go out and spread the information. Thank you very much.